कृष्णा श्री कृष्ण। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। पर्वत सर्षपयोः इव अंतरवान विरोधः प्रमाणविदाम निश्चितः तस्मात् सर्वकर्म संन्यासेन एव ज्ञाननिष्ठा कार्या इति सिद्धम। So ultimately one has to get out of all the undertakings and abide firmly in this jnana-nishtha in one's own essential self. Thus in the 55th verse we have concluded this. Now, स्वकर्मणा भगवतः अभ्यर्चन भक्ति योगस्य सिद्धि प्राप्ति ही फलम ज्ञान योग्यता ज्ञान निष्ठा योग्यता. So what we have concluded is when we do our karma according to the varnashrama, whether we are brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi, or we are the brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra, depending on that, swakarmana bhagavataha abhyarchana bhakti yogasya. So when we do the bhakti yoga or by our karma we worship the Lord, siddhi prapti hi phalam jnana nishtha yogyata. What happens is we become purer and purer and the mind becomes qualified to inquire about the truth. Therefore, yan nimitta jnana nishtha moksha phala vasana. So, yan nimitta jnana nishtha moksha phala vasana. That jnana nishtha which ultimately leads to the liberation is because of whatever reason. That reason is bhakti yoga. So, sa bhakti Bhagavad Bhakti Yoga adhuna stuyate. Therefore, this Bhakti Yoga, which is the last step in attaining the qualification to know the truth, that is being now stuyate, glorified. Shastrartha upasamhara prakarane shastrartha nishchaya dardhyaya. For concluding these topics and also for having clear and firm understanding about the import of the scriptural statement. And therefore, in the 56th verse, the teacher will say now. So here, we all have to understand the following. Karma we have to do because we cannot keep quiet. This is said to the ignorant people like us. If you do the karma, there will be raga, dvesha, karma, phala, and the relative samsara will continue. So to come out of that, the technique is, first technique is that do the karma according to your adhikara. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadajana. After that is done, then the second step is, instead of feeling satisfied by the kartavya karma, by performing the duties, now perform the same duties as worship of the Lord. Swakarmana tam abhyarcha. As a result of this bhakti yoga sadhana, we will be able to attain the qualification to inquire, understand the import of the scriptures in the right perspective. And thereafter our jnana nishtha will become firm. And we will be able to attain oneness with the Brahman. And such a seeker, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kangshati. This is how, when this jnana nishtha becomes firm, that itself is called as divine love. So, mad bhakti labhate param. So, there are two things. Swakarmana tam abhyarcha is the sadhana bhakti. And mad bhakti labhate param is the siddha bhakti. And in between it is the understanding. In between it is the correct import about the truth. That is recognize Brahmatmaikya Bodha. oneness with the Parabrahma Paramatma. This is how the whole topic is. And therefore, in the 56th verse, the teacher says, Sarva karmanyapi sada kurvano madvyapashrayah matprasadadavapnoti shashvatam padamavyayam. Sarva karmani pratisiddhani api. Sarva karmani api. Api means even the pratisiddha, those which are not to be done. Now by this what is meant is the seeker of the truth will never go in the wrong way. So when the teacher says this kind of statement, even the karmas which are not sanctioned by the scriptures, even those karmas if you do, by this what is meant, this is called as arthavad. By this what is meant, what to talk of if you do your duties as offering to the Lord. This is the meaning. Say like yesterday I received one SMS. I can give you my life, I can give you my heart, I can give you everything that you just ask. And these are the 4 films, name of the films. And afterwards, these 4 VCDs are with me. You tell me what you want. Isn't it? So, Sarva Karvani Api means those bad karmas, even if you do that, then what to talk about if you are following the righteous path? This is the meaning. So, sarva karmanyapi sada pratisiddhani api sada kurvanaha anutishtan. So, while practicing all these karmas, mad vyapashrayah aham vasudevo ishvaro vyapashrayo yasya sa mad vyapashrayah mai arpita sarvatma bhavaha ityartha. Now this kind of misunderstanding takes place when Bhagavan says, even the bad karmas you offer to me, you will come to me. Therefore, I go and kill other people. This is how the philosophy of the terrorist is. This jihad philosophy has that this foundation. If you go and kill somebody, you will go to the heaven. That is not the meaning. So, mad vyapashraya aham vasudevo ishvaraha vyapashrayo yasya sa mad vyapashraya mai arpita sarvatma bhavaha ityartaha. So, a person who has offered all the undertakings of his life to me, and who is this me? Vasudevo ishvaraha. I am the Ishvara, the absolute reality, controlling this whole world of relativity. Sahapi, even such a person, mad prasadat, mama ishvarasya prasadat avapnoti shashvatam nityam vaishnavam padam avyayam. So by my grace, he will definitely attain that nityam, eternal, divine place that is. It is avyayam, which does not change. So, this is how the method of Bhakti Yoga is brought out. So, what is Bhakti Yoga? Bhakti Yoga is Yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yad juhosi, dadasi, yat. See? What you do is not told. Whatever you do. Therefore, sarva karmanyapi sada. So, yat karoshi, yat juhosi, dadasi, yat tapashyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. You offer it to me. And in this manner, you will attain that eternal abode of my being. Yasmadeva tasmad, this being so, chetasa sarva karmani मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः बुद्धियोगमुपाश्रित्यः मच्चित्त सततं भव। मच्चित्त बुद्धि को उपाश्रित्य, नॉट त्यः, देयर इज नो विसर्ग, दैट इज अ लेप प्रत्यय, लाइक त्वा एंड लेप. You know these two pratyas, tva pratyay and the lep pratyay. When the root is prefixed with some upasarga, it becomes lep. So ashritya and upashritya. So chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha. Chetasa viveka buddhya. By proper discrimination and understanding. So sarva karmani दृष्ट अदृष्टार्थानि मयि ईश्वरे सन्न्यस्य यत् करोषि यदश्नासि इति उक्त न्यायेन. So all the karmas by proper understanding are done for the sake of the Lord. मत्परा अहम वासुदेवः परो यस्य स एव मत्परः सन. And keeping me, the Vasudeva, as the ultimate in one's life. There is nothing more than this Paramatma Tattva as the ultimate altar of surrender. So Matparaha. Matparaha san Buddhi Yogam Mai Samahita Buddhi Tattvam Buddhi Yogaha Tam Buddhi Yogam. What is the meaning of Buddhi Yogam? Fixing the buddhi on the goal of Paramatma. That means the only purpose of our life is to know the truth. And this truth is known through the simple process of Bhakti Yoga. And what is Bhakti Yoga? We are not living for the worldly enjoyments or indulgence, but we are living for the sake of the Lord. And whenever we are living for the sake of the Lord, two things will happen. One, the kartrutva abhiman will start becoming lesser and lesser, and the karma phala, the result of the karma, will not come to us because they are offered to the Lord. In this manner, buddhi yogam upashritya mai samahita buddhitvam buddhi yogaha upashritya ashrayaha ananya sharanatvam. Ashraya means ananya sharanatvam. There is no doubt whatsoever about it. Ananya means other, ananya means not other. So, sharanatvam, complete surrender to me and to me alone, the Lord says. Where are the other areas which we take support, where we surrender? First is the wealth. We imagine by the strength of money we can do everything. 2 is by the karma. By the karma we can achieve anything in life. 3 by the prajaya, by the support from many people we can attain the absolute. And 4th, by the strength of our sadhana, spiritual practice. So all these 4 ashrayas, all these 4 supports are totally given up, and there is only but one support, Ananya Sharana. Only the Lord alone is the real support. All other things are beginning in time and ending in time. Therefore, Buddhi Yogam Upashritya Ananya Sharanatvam Macchittaha Mayi eva chittam yasya tava satvam macchittaha. He who has his chitta, his mind, fully and completely fixed in me and me alone, such a you, satatam bhava, you all the time fix your mind on me and taking the support of the proper discrimination, offer everything to me and me alone, taking me as the ultimate support in this world. This is what is called as the Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Yogam Upashritya. So, The Buddhi Yoga becomes a Bhakti Yoga when we are fixing our Buddhi on the Paramatma. The Buddhi Yoga becomes a Samsara Yoga when we keep our Buddhi on the Jagat. This is what in our Patanjali Yoga Sutra we have seen. Chitta, Nadi, Samsaravaha and Kalyanavaha. So where we fix our mind? The mind has got both the options, freedom. Either fix the mind on the relative world or fix the mind on the absolute truth. Macchittaha satatam bhava, thus become one with me, fix your attention on me and me alone. And when this happens, what next step will take place? Macchitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi atha chetvam ahankarat na shroshyasi vinangshasi. Macchittaha sarva durgani, sarvani dustarani samsara hetu jatani. Durgani is dustarani, difficult to transcend, difficult to conquer. What is to be difficult to conquer? Samsara hetu jatani, all those which are the obstacles because of which we are unable to get out of the relative world and come to the absolute abode. All those difficult to cross obstacles. Sarva durgani macchittaha, the one who is macchitta, the one whose mind is on me, mat prasadat tarishyasi atikramishasi. By my grace you shall go beyond all these obstacles. And athachet, now as if Bhagavad is threatening. Up to a particular limit, one can talk. Mela beta, shona beta, it's okay. But when it is required, one must have the freedom and the strength to set the things right at the right time. It's very, very important. And this is what is not allowed in the Western world. There was one family who shifted to US. Their son, born here in India, and when they migrated to US, and the age of the son was 3 years. So he was admitted in the school. And the first thing that they teach the children there, if anybody abuses you, anybody, mother, father, anybody, you can dial 911 and you will be protected instantaneously. This is the first lesson. Now, this father, Indian origin, child born in India, when the child was, disturbing, when the elders were having some business talking, he'll come and disturb in between. So the father scolded, "You stop that nonsense. Go away." So the child says coolly, "Dad, I don't like this way of your talking. Behave properly, or else I will dial 911. And if the child dials 911, nobody can stop you going behind the bars instantaneously. Such peculiar rules and regulations. That's why, all our parents, they are so disgusted, so frustrated, but they don't want to come here. So, Sarva Durgani, these are all the obstacles on the path of evolution. Mat prasadat tarishyati atikramishati. So, athachena, if you don't do this, I will dial 911. Athachet yadi tvam maduktam ahankarat panditaha ahamiti na shroshasi. And if you think you are wise, if you think you know everything. Because now you have heard 18 chapters of Gita. Arjuna has heard 18 chapters of Gita. So if you think that you know very well, very wise you are, ahankarat. How it is? Because of the ahankarat. This is how you know. Many times we are unable to understand many things. But if we mistake the discipline and the imposition of certain things on us by the elders as loss of freedom, then such people go the wrong way. And once you go the wrong way, nothing in this world can correct you. It goes on one after another, and the life becomes a total mess. Therefore, if you imagine that I am wise, I know everything now I am a teenager, I can know everything. Therefore, ahankarat pandita ahamiti na shroshasi, na grahishasi, if you don't accept it, tataha tvam vinakshasi, vinashan gamishasi, तुम्हारा सत्यानाश हो जाएगा. Now this is not a threatening or a bad feeling in the mind of the Lord. What he says, Arjun, you don't know what you are. Had you known what you are, you would never have been confused. See? And if you go to the teacher has a better assessment of ours than we have ours. And that is the reason when we go to the teacher, if we take the instructions and follow, it is for our benefit, it is our growth. But we imagine, no, I know everything. Who can tell me? I have been living every time taking my own decisions. And what is the conclusion? Life is a mess. See? The other day, 2 girls came. One came first and said, about the marriage, confusion, this way, that way. I said, who is that other one? Oh, Swami, she is my friend. And she is also the same problem. I said, that's why you are friends. And what is the problem? Problem is this. Not able to decide whom to marry. So I said, look here, make it very clear to yourself. And that boy also told, if you are having career as the first choice of your life, then don't get married. Move shoulder to shoulder with the men in the society, do your career, get yourself totally destroyed, and when you are like, the sugar cane bit, eaten, chewed away, sucked away and thrown, then you come back to your life. And to that boy I told, I said, if you want to have a happy marriage, get a girl who is little bit educated, not dumb, but not career oriented. Career oriented girls can never make a good house. They are all the time worried and concerned about their own career. Therefore, I said, this is what I told you, now I don't want to discuss anything, okay? Yate chasi tadha guru, you decide what you have to do. Because here the teacher knew to whom he is talking. Arjuna is what is known better than by the Lord than by him. Therefore, Atha ched ahankarad na shroshasi vinakshasi. You are destroying yourself. Idam chatvaya namantavyam swatantraha aham. Don't mistake that you have any freedom in this world. The so-called freedom. We are the slaves of our own mind and we say it is freedom. Idam chatvaya namantavyam swatantraha aham. Kimartham paroktam karishyami. Why should I listen to others? And therefore, Bhagavan says, Yadahankaram ashritya न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे मिथ्यैष व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वां नियोक्ष्यति यच्च एतत्त्वम् अहंकारम् आश्रित्य न योत्से इति न युद्धं करिष्यामि इति मन्यसे. If you take the refuge in your own ego and decide by yourself, I shall not fight this war. So, मन्यसे चिंतयसि निश्चयं करोषि मिथ्या एव एष व्यवसायः. All this your determination, decision is a self-deception. मिथ्या एव एष निश्चयः ते तव तस्मात् यस्मात् प्रकृतिः क्षत्र स्वभावः त्वां नियोक्ष्यति. You are born Kshatriya and this your Kshatra Swabhava, this habit of leading, fighting, war, this will not allow you to keep quiet. So, don't have the wrong notion that you can decide and withdraw from the war. You cannot. I know for certain. In the, remember, second chapter, Bhagavan told Arjun when he was told logically, Bhayad ranat uparatam mansante tva maharataha eshanchatvam bahumataha tato yasya silangavam avascha vadascha bahun vadishyanti tavahitaha nindantam tava samarthyam tato dukkadaram nikim. So everybody will start talking cheap and bad about you, and then again you will become extremely uneasy. And then you will like to go and kill, but by then it is the wrong place. Therefore your swabhava, you are a born warrior, and therefore you cannot have any kind of disposition than to fight the war. At this moment on the battlefield, this despondency that has come in you is not your swabhava. It is a depression. Depression is not our swabhava. It is our inability to accept the situation, and therefore we get depressed, and that depression is glorified as my own swabhava. Therefore, it is extremely necessary for all of us to understand that we should not mistake that we can do whatever we want. What is required is we have to change our swabhava. So two things please understand now. This point also I told you a number of times. There are two aspects in our personality. One is the swabhava and second is the swarupa. Swarupa is Satchidananda Brahmatmaikya Bodha. And Swabhava is whatever we have collected as impressions on the mind as a result of the karma and as a result of the experiences. The impression collected on the mind as a result of karma is called as karma phala. And the impressions gathered on the mind as a result of the experiences is called as vasana. So karma phala vasana coming together, they give us the present experience. So as long as they are carried as the load on our mind, we are living only at the relative realm, not in the absolute. But if we want to really progress, all the spiritual practice is changing this swabhava. And for changing this swabhava, the spiritual practice is to do your duties, remove the raga dvesha, likes and dislikes, offer your karma to the Lord, remove your ego of doership. As a result, when the God becomes a prominent factor in your life, you become more and more devotion oriented, And then you want to know who the Lord is, who I am. And as a result of this, slowly you will be able to discover this Brahmatmaikya Bodha, oneness with the Absolute. This is the way. Therefore, taking the first step, the Lord says, Swabhava, Prakriti Stvam Niyokshati. Your Swabhava, your Prakriti, your nature will not allow you to keep quiet. And therefore, don't run away from this battlefield. So, Kshatra Swabhavaha Tvam Niyokshati will engage you in this battle, if not now, after some time. And Yasmacha, and also because Swabhavajena Kaunteya Nibaddhasvena Karmana Kartum Nechasi Yanmohat Karishyasya Vashopi Tata. Swabhavajena Shauryadina Yathoktena Sri Krishna Swabhavajena. What was the Swabhava of the Arjuna, the Kshatriya? Is the Swabhava of the Kshatriya is to engage in the war, not run away from the war, Ishvara Bhava, and so. And therefore, you have no choice but to express your Kshatriya Dharma. Chauryam tejo dhrutir yuddhe cha apalayanam. You will not be able to run away from the battlefield, because that is not your Swabhava. Therefore, Swabhavajena Shauryadina Yathoktena Kaunteya Nibaddaha Nishchayena Baddaha. You are from within. You will prefer to die on the battlefield. You will not run away from the choice that you have given to yourself. And therefore, Swabhavajena Shauryadina Yathoktena Kaunteya Nishchayena Baddaha. You are bound by that. So, Svena Atmiyena Karmana Kartum na ichchasi yat mohat. Now, whatever karma has come in front of you, this time, the war, na kartum ichchasi mohat avivekataha. Now, at this moment, you are thinking that I will not like to do any karma. Avivekataha karishyasi avashaha api. You will, under all your own compelling forces from within, you will do it. The same karma. Therefore, Arjun, you have a wrong notion about you. You don't know what you are. And you have that funny notion that yadahankaramashritya navyotcheti vanyase, that you have freedom and you will do this, that. Don't trust your mind. Therefore, if you remember, I told you this principle. Unless the mind is under our control, we must give the control of our mind to the elders, to the Guru. Then only this mind becomes an asset. Otherwise, the same mind becomes a liability, because Atmaiva Atmano Bandhu, Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha. Our mind becomes our enemy if it is not properly under control, tamed one. So, avashaha api parvashaha eva tat karma karoshi. Now, after having told this being so, the teacher continues in 61st verse. Ishvara sarva bhutanam Ruddeshe Arjuna tishtati भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया। ईश्वरः ईशनशीलः नारायणः. The Narayana, the one who is the Ishanashilaha, who is the controller, governor of everything. Sarva Bhutanam, Sarva Praninam, Hruddeshe Tishtati. Now see what is meant over here. What Bhagavan said, surrender yourself to me because I am the Ishvara. And now he is telling that Ishvara is staying in the hearts of everyone. The second thing, whatever is the recording on your tape, and you put that tape in your tape recorder and start. How that tape recorder can function? Only if there is a power. So when the power is connected to the tape recorder, the tape will start playing. Now what will come out? Whatever is recorded. In the same manner, Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hruddeshe arjuna tishtati. Paramatma Ishvara is that divine power which is supporting all the activities of life in the heart of everybody. Now, as a result, Brahmayan sarva bhutani. Now the moment the power has come, immediately the tape recorder will start playing. And then we complain, why other people's, tape recorder, they have got a very nice classical music going on. And why in mine one there is a disco digit? Why this is so? Because you have put the cassette like that. No, I'll again start. Again you start. Do it 100 times. The same thing will come what is contained in the cassette. So what is required is you have to change the cassette. Swabhava you have to change. In the same manner. Here Bhagavan says, Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hruddeshe arjuna tishtati. Therefore the Ishvara knows what is happening in us. And one more important topic, although off the track, if we become aware of this fact that the Ishvara is in our heart, everything will be sorted out properly. Like suppose we have respect for somebody, then if that somebody is around, our behavior automatically gets corrected. When we are aware of his presence. When we are not aware of his presence, then we will behave in an uncontrolled manner. Now see what is the whole purpose. Bhagavan is telling, Arjun, your swabhava I know, but you don't know that I know your swabhava. And the moment you become aware that I know your Swabhava, you will start responding in a creative manner and you will do what I tell you. But you don't know that Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriddeshi Arjuna Tishtati. Therefore, the moment we come to know this fact, even if we don't know, we become aware of this fact, that every thought that erupts is first known by the Lord. Every word that is uttered is known by the Lord. Every action that is done is known by the Lord first. Every intention that we have, it is recognized by the Lord. And if we become aware that Lord is in our heart, what will happen? Our Swabhava will automatically start changing. And change in our Swabhava is all the spiritual practice. Therefore, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. Now, Arjuna Shukla Antakarnatma Swabhavaha Vishuddha Antakarnaha iti. Arjuna is the one who is pure-minded. Now, Saha Katham Tishtati iti aha. How does he stays there? It is said. Brahmayan, Brahmanam Karayan, Sarva Bhutani, Yantra Rudhani, Yantrani Arudhani, Adhithishtitani eva, Iva Shabdaha iti Drashtavyaha. So, just like on the yantra, on the wheel, if we are sitting in the giant wheel, with the movement of the wheel, we also move. In the same manner, all the impressions that we have in the mind as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they will definitely propel us the moment we are energized by the divine power. And in this manner, the Lord is as if, therefore, Iva Shabdaha, as if the Lord is prompting us into all activities. Now, on the basis of this, Duryodhan Maharaj says, Janami dharmam nachame pravrittihi, Janami adharmam nachame nivrittihi. Kenapi devena hrudi sthitena, Yatha niyuktosmi tatha karomi, Yatha niyuktosmi tatha karomi. I know what is dharma, I know what is adharma. As regards knowledge is concerned, I am very clear. But I don't want to get involved in the dharma, and I don't want to withdraw from the adharma. It is because of some God is sitting in my heart and He is making me do all the bad things. Now see, this is how we blame others. But we don't want to change our cassette. Unless we change our cassette, the bad music will start coming out. Therefore, Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yantra Rudhani Mayaya Yatha Darukruta Purushadini Yantra Rudhani Mayaya Chadmana Brahmayan Tishtati iti Sambandha. Therefore, just like Mayaya, under the disguise of being the controller, etc., the Ishvara with his Maya Shakti is making all the beings victim of their own thoughts, victim of their own impressions. Therefore, if we really want to go out of the impact of the Maya, because Ishvaraha Mayaya Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani, Ishvara is moving the whole world into the chaos by his Maya. And what is his Maya? His Maya is, although the Lord is staying in our heart, We imagine he is far away from us. That is his Maya. And therefore, we are having this kind of wrong notions. Yad ahankaram ashritya na yotcheti manyase. Who has asked you whether you want to fight the war or not? You are appointed. Therefore, one of the very effective spiritual practices is give zero choice to yourself. Lesser the choice you give, happier is your spiritual journey. Because everybody has this experience. Some of us become aware, some of us don't. Now, for example, there was once a person here who did his course from the last batch, and then he was in the hostel looking after the students. Hardly he was getting there anything. But how much of politics and all that? So he was asked to go. He left. He resigned and went. So he must have felt bad. So I told him, I said, look here. There is nothing that happens bad in life. Please remember. Nahi kalyana krut kaschit durgatim tada gacchati. Don't think something bad has happened to you. It is for your good that you are leaving this place. So he went. Now he got a very good, extremely wonderful job. More salary than anybody over here can even dream. And all posh life. See? Had he continued here among the mosquitoes, whole life would have been the same wretched one. Therefore, we must not resist change. Those who resist change, they cannot grow. We have to change ourselves. And in and through all the changes, you discover that there is one factor which has not undergone any change, and that unchanging reality is our essential nature. To make ourselves aware of this truth, all the situations are created around us. And if we are very, very sincere on our spiritual path, we will always keep this as the only spiritual practice. Be ready for the change. Those who refuse to change, they become stagnated in their life. You will see all the people who are really progressing in life. All those people are those who have taken the daring to change the place, the job, the situation, and then only they have really grown in life. See? That is why you will see all the people who migrate from one place to another place. All the migratory people are more capable than the stationary people. Because unless they are capable, they will not survive. Then those who are stagnant in the same place throughout life, they are good for nothing. And then what they will do? SOS, son of the soil. There is nothing like son of the soil. See? If you see that Kolivada in Bombay, the fishermen, they were living there originally for last so many generations. And what they have done is only going in the sea, catching the fish, coming back, eating, drinking, sleeping. Now the people came from all over the world. Sindhis, Gujaratis, Punjabis, UPians, Biharis, South Indians, everybody have come. And they have created tremendous wealth from the same place. But these people are still holding on to the back. They don't want to change. Therefore, the real spiritual practice is changing our swabhav. And for that, this awareness must come. And when the awareness comes, then we will understand that every change that is presented to us by the Lord in the scheme of evolution is for our growth. Let us not resist that. Here was a change for Arjun, that he has to fight the war against his own people. So do your job and grow. That is important. And therefore, 62nd verse, Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam. Tam eva Ishwaram Sharanam Ashrayam Samsara Arti Haranartham Gaccha Ashrayam Sarva Bhavena Sarvatmana He Bharata. Therefore, Tam Ishwaram Sharanam Gaccha. He Arjun, He Bharata, take refuge in this Ishvara. And where is he? He is nowhere else outside. Become aware. Now see, I'll tell you this meaning of this Tameva Sharanam Gaccha from all the paths point of view. First, the path of karma. What is the meaning of taking refuge in the Lord according to path of karma? Who has given the law of karma? The Lord. Therefore, what is the meaning of following the path of surrender to the Lord? Following the law of karma as it is. So what is the law of karma? Wherever there is a requirement of any situation, that situation is facing us so that we can grow. So when we are able to live our life according to the scriptural injunctions given in a particular place without compromising our discipline with the scriptural injunction, we have surrendered to the God according to the path of karma. Therefore, vidhi nished, dharma, adharma, shastra, this is not given by a man, it is by the Lord. One. Now the second thing, Tameva Sharanam Gaccha, Sarva Bhavena. Therefore I am explaining this word Sarva Bhavena. Now the second bhava is the path of yoga. What is the path of yoga? Surrendering to the Ishvara means what? Who is Ishvara according to yoga? The Upadi Asansprishta Purusha Vishesha Ishvara. Therefore, our practice will be that we do not get influenced by the changing situations around. We do not get influenced by the body changes, the senses, the mind, and thus come to discover that I am the witnessing self of all the changing phenomena. This practice is called as Tameva Sharanam Gaccha according to the Yoga Shastra. Now, according to Bhakti Shastra, what is the meaning of the Tameva Sharanam Gaccha Sarva Bhavena? Means Yat karoshi yadashnasi yad juhosi dadasi yad tapashyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Every activity is done for the sake of the Lord. This is called as the surrender to the Lord. When every activity is done for the sake of the Lord, what will be the immediate effect? All the bad activities will be deleted. First. Second thing, every activity will be done with perfection. Third thing, there won't be any boredom and the load of our own life, because we are doing it for the sake of the Lord. And fourth thing, every activity will be an expression of inspiration, because you are doing for the sake of the Lord. It cannot be the second hand or the second class, second rank performance. This is the meaning of Tamev Sharanam Gaccha Sarva Bhavena Bhakti Bhavena. Now the fourth path, Tamev Sharanam Gaccha Jnana Marga Bhavena. Now what is the meaning of surrendering to the Lord according to the path of knowledge? Discover this Brahmatmaikya Bodha. This is what Bhagavan says. Yastvatmaratirev syat atmatruptascha manavaha atmanneva cha santushtaha tasya karyam na vidyate. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmanneva atmana tushtasthita prajnestadocchate. Adveshta sarva bhutana maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara samadukha sukha kshami. Santushta satatam yogi jitatma vigata spruha, according to the knowledge. Also, prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohameva cha pandava na dveshti sampravrittani na nivrittani kankshati. So all these thoughts put together is Tameva Sharanam Gaccha Jnana Bhavena Bharata. Sarva Bhavena, according to the path of knowledge. So when we are living by firm abidance in the self, so when we are living by the firm abidance in the self, what will happen? One, desires will disappear. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan. All desires will disappear. When the desires will disappear, you are nearer with the reality. Like Kathopanishad tells, Yada sarve pramuchyante kama yasya hridhi sthitaha ataha martya amruto bhavati atra brahma samashnute. The wall between the Jivatma and the Paramatma is the wall of these desires. The moment the pot wall is broken, the pot space is the total space. See? The whole problem is the potty problem. That has to be given up. So, Tameva Sharanam Gaccha Sarva Bhavena Bharata. And here the word used is Bharata. Bha Jnanam, Rata reveling. He who is reveling in this divine knowledge, to him is this address. Tameva Sharanam Gaccha Sarva Bhavena Bharata. Now all what I told you in these four paths, if you want to understand in one go, it is live the life of awareness. Don't lead a mechanical life of a dull-witted existence. No. Every moment, pratibodha viditam matam. Every moment is a moment of meditation. Yatra yatra manoyati tatra tatra samadaya. If we are able to live every moment with this awareness. So, Tameva Sharanam Gaccha Sarva Bhavena Bharata. Then Tat Prasadat Param Shantim. So, Tat Prasadat Ishvara Anugrahat. Now, what is the grace of the Ishvara Anugraha blessing? The grace of the Ishvara is only one. And what is that? You are allowing the Ishvara to express through you. It is actually our grace to own the Ishvara, not the other way around. Because Ishvara's grace is faith in our heart. Therefore, Ashraddha Dhana, those who don't have faith, they cannot receive the divine grace. Like the two sides of a coin. One side is called as Ishvara Anugraha, grace of the Lord. The other side is called as the Shraddha in the Lord or the faith in the reality. And both of them are the same. From the Ishvara's point of view, it is called as Ishvara Anugraha. From the Jiva's point of view, it is called as the Shraddha. Therefore, Yaya Vastu Upalabhyate. It is only by the Shraddha alone Paramatma is gained. In this manner, Tat Prasadat, by the Ishvara Anugraha, by the grace of the Lord, Param Prakrushtam Shantim, Param Uparatim. Para Shanti is eternal withdrawal. What is eternal withdrawal? Not hanging the mouth or the face and frustrated. No. Para Shanti is Prashanti. And what is Prashanti? Prashanti is that where Shanti and Ashanti are equal. Like water is that where ocean and waves are equal. Ocean is that where the birth and the death of the waves is equal. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Sukha dukkhe same krutva. Where sukha and dukkha are same, joy and sorrows are same, the victory and defeat is same, where the loss and gain is same, that's samatvam, param shantim. So, prakrushtam shantim param uparatim sthanam cha mama vishnoho paramam padam. And this param shanti itself is the ultimate attainment in life. It is called as sthanam, firm abidance in that. Bhagavan says, Mama Vishnoho Paramam Padam, because this is the path of devotion. So when you do this devotion, you will come to my abode, Vaikuntha. So, Paramam Padam Avapsasi Shashvatam Nityam. You shall attain the Shashvata Pada, the Nitya Pada, the absolute reality that you are. You shall not be running here and there throughout your life. After having said this, now in the 63rd verse, Iti te jnanamakyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimrushya tadasheshena yathechasi tatha kuru. Iti etat te tubhyam. So up to this 62nd verse, this te tubhyam to you, jnanam akyatam kathitam. So I have told you all that is to be told with reference to the karma, jnana, yoga, bhakti. Throughout Bhagavad Gita, this is what has been discussed. The karma, jnana, yoga and the bhakti. So, we have told you akyatam kathitam. And what is that you told me, sir? He again summarizes. Guhyat guhyataram maya. So, there are different knowledges which are told. First knowledge was the guhyat jnanam, the dharma shastra is the guhyat jnanam. Then Guhyatara is the Upasana Shastra. So Dharma Shastra is the gross secret. It is a secret, but it is a gross one. Then, subtler than the Dharma Shastra, Karma Yoga, Karma Siddhanta, I told you the Upasana Shastra. And that Upasana Shastra, in the 7th chapter, Bhagavan said, Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mamevaye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. So invoke the divine grace through the devotion. That Upasana Shastra. Then comes, this was the Guhyatara. Upasana is Guhyatara Shastra. Then Guhyatama Shastra. Guhyatama Shastra is Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. there is but one absolute reality, pulsating through the total multiplicity, like the one space in and through all the parts in the world. That is the Guhyatama. And this is what is said here, Guhyat Guhyataram. So I have told you the Guhya, Guhyatara and Guhyatama, all the secrets in complete detail. Akyatam. Kyatam is told, Akyatam is told Asamantat Kyatam in complete and exhaustive details. I have not taken any shortcut to finish the Bhagavad Gita. I know you have to go and fight the war, and yet I have not committed any shortcuts. Iti te jnanamakyatam guhyat guhyataram maya. It was told by me, maya sarvajnena ishvarena. And don't have that doubt also, that Devaki Nandana Bhaguna, he has told no. It is the Lord Ishvarena Maya. So, thereafter, Vimrushya Vimarshanam Alojanam Krutva. So, whatever I have told you, now reflect on that. Alojanam Krutva Vimrushya Etad Yathoktam Shastram Asheshena Samastam Yathoktam. So, whatever I told you, right from the first chapter onwards. What Bhagavan told in the first chapter? In the first chapter, Bhagavan said, Bhashya etan kurun partha. When Arjun said that Senayor Ubayor Madhya Ratham Sthapaya me chuta, Bhagavan said, okay, come. Now see your grandfather and Guru. You want to see with whom you have to fight. Fighting with the enemies is very easy. Fighting with the nears and dears is difficult. And fighting with your own mind is the most difficult, because it is the nearest one. And the mind will give us such wonderful suggestions that other than the mind, nobody is our well-wisher. But we don't understand that the mind doesn't want to die, and therefore it will keep itself busy in suggesting new ways so that the relativity is maintained intact. And therefore, Vimrishya etad asheshena. So in the first chapter I told you this, in the second chapter I told you, na jayate mriyate va vipashit nayam bhutva bhavitavan bhuyaha. In the third chapter I told you, yajñarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sanga samachara. In the fourth chapter I told you, कर्मणि अकर्म यहाँ पश्येत अकर्म निज कर्म यहाँ सब बुद्धिमान मनुष्येषु समुक्त स कृष्ण कर्म कृत. In the fifth chapter I told you, विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मणे कवि अस्तिनि शुनिचैव स्वपाके च पंडिताः समदर्शिनः इहैव तैर्जितः सर्गः येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः. In the sixth chapter I told you, आत्मौपम्येन सर्वत्र समं पश्यति अर्जुन. In the seventh I told you, mattaha parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam prodam sutre maniganaiva. In the seventh I told you, kaving puranam manushasitaram. In the eighth, then in the ninth I told you, maya tatavidam sarvam jagadavyaktamurtina masthani sarvabhutani. 10th I told you, etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo veti tatvataha. 11th I told you that Arjun, I have shown you my Vishwaroop not because of any other spiritual practice, only because I love you. And in the 12th chapter, the one who has got my love, Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam. 13th chapter, then he turns into the path of knowledge that Kshetrajnam Chapi Mam Viddhi Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata. in the 14th chapter, prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohameva cha pandava na dveshti sampravrittani na nivrittani kankshati gunatita purush. In the 15th chapter, yasmat ksharamati or sarvasta chaham hrudi sannivishtaha matta smriti jnanam apohanancha. 16th, 17th chapter, Bhagavan told us about the positive qualities which lead to the Absolute and the Shraddha, which is the foundation of the spiritual life. And now I am telling you, iti te jnanam akyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimrushya etad asheshena. Whatever I told you, now reflect on this completely and fully. And the most wonderful part of the whole Bhagavad Gita. Samastam yathoktam cha artha jatam yatha ichchasi tatha kuru. I shall not force compel you what you should do, whether you should fight the war or go away from the war. Decision will be yours. This is one of the most important things for all of us to remember. We have to learn to take the decisions in the light of the wisdom. Unlike Arjuna's decision, which was taken under the darkness of delusion. So, Arjuna has taken a decision. Yathechati tatha kuru. Yes, I told you, I had to run back. But after having heard the whole thing, therefore, let our decisions be based on the discrimination, wisdom, dispassion, and not on whims and fancy and ahankara. So, vimrushya etad asheshena yathechasi tatha kuru. The remaining thing we'll take in our next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.